here's a skill that I'm teaching PJ that anyone can absolutely make $10,000 per month with. And I think PJ will be probably within 6 months if he can really get good at this. And it is basically copywriting for large brands, turning their videos into tweet threads, Twitter posts. I do this with all my clients anyway, but this is something that's very high in demand. Not many people are doing it, but I just offer it with my services anyway. So Ken's the only person that I'm really allowed to do this because he's okay with me going over his video. So here's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the transcript of the video. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I made my own ChatGPT. This is a Russell Brunson clone that I made. And all I'm going to say is, all I'm doing is giving it pretty specific advice. And then while this is being made, I'm going to make a Google Docs. So the big thing when you are doing this is ChatGPT is good, but you have to give it very specific instructions, because right when I started reading this, it sounds doesn't sound human at all. And I'm going to change a lot of the wording around anyway, but I'm going to give it some more. So this is all I'm doing. It is very simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, but what you're going to see next is the bandwidth that is really needed. So I'm not even really going to read this right now. All I'm going to do is copy and paste it and then start doing my own stuff. So now there is an email here, and this email can be used as a tweet thread, a blog post, pretty much any written work that you could need, but we need to make it sound a lot better now. So because I know Ken and the numbers, I'm just doing this right now, but you want to make it personal as well. So I'm over $750 million in debt, and I've leveraged it to get very rich. There's a big conception about debt. Most people think it's something to avoid, but when used correctly, it can be a powerful tool for building wealth. Truth about debt. The US dollar, like all fiat currencies, is a form of bad debt. So instead of avoiding debt, the key is to learn how to use it wisely. Good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt is for things that lose value, like credit cards, etc. Good debt is investment. So this is already very, very good. I gave it a clear instruction that I wanted it to stay and pertain to the topic of how you use debt to make money. And this is so far really good. They took out all of the weird adjectives. That was one of the big things. Before, this was very, very salesy. I don't think it looks good at all. But this one is much less and much easier to read. This is a sample email that I would send out to Ken's list. There's a few different goals of this. One is to be highly educational, is how you can use debt to turn it into an asset, which Ken has done and made a ton of money doing that. The second is to get them onto a webinar, because how do you actually get paid from this? When you are running a business or anything, you have to think, how is what I'm doing making someone else money? Or if you can't figure that out, you're really not going to be able to make more money. So when you have these emails, when you're posting the tweet thread, the LinkedIn post, would be posting this as a community notes on YouTube. When you do this, other people are going to see it. And then the call to action is the free webinar that you're going to be doing, which you'll try and sell or just give more brand awareness to what you're actually trying to accomplish and nurture an audience better. So you're also getting emails, but how do you actually make money from this? And it is really by selling other people's products. So Ken has a variety of products that you can sell from the email list, from all these other things. And it is incredibly profitable to do it. Most people don't want to do this themselves, but pretty much everyone wants it done for them. So this is a very, very easy skill that can be learned. And I mean, my ChatGPT looks very, very good because I've trained the ChatGPT to know what I like by doing it this way. But
how did you train it? Just by constantly giving it feedback?
Yes, so you can actually train your own open AIs. And so I put down like 200 of the best emails that I thought were good, why they were good. I give it very clear instructions, and then just kind of using the process over and over again, the AI starts to train itself to be better. But I will probably go back and I'll change a few different things from the original email. I changed a few things to make it more personal, but what I'll probably do is change quite a bit more. So
yeah, that last sentence you put in, I like that.
Just you want to be personal. People need to understand it. You're speaking to another human on the other side, so you talk kind of like you would text in some ways, but still a little bit more professional. Then the subject is pretty important. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. So now what I would do is I would just send this to Ken's team and they would post it, and a bunch of people would sign up for the webinar. A bunch of people would go watch the video that we did on this. This did not take a lot of time. This was just a video that we just posted now. So it's super, super simple stuff. And so now that this is a tweet thread, now that this is an email, this is going to be sent out as an email, but it's also going to be posted as a tweet thread, a LinkedIn post, a Meta post. But what you need to realize is it's going to change the way it looks, because the way people consume content is different on every single media. The way people read emails is different than how they read tweet threads. So you're gonna have to use different rehooking methods. You're gonna have to just change it up slightly for every single platform. So to turn this into a long form tweet, I'm already having someone send this out as an email right now. I did that offline super quickly, but you would obviously take out the subject and all these other things, but all these would just be kind of rehook statements. And the reason why you do this is it's all a funnel. When you post a tweet thread, people see it, they want to see more. You have a exterior link to, let's say, a webinar. From the webinar, you get both the email, because you have to have an email to sign up for it, and then you get people watching live, which has a much higher conversion rate to any product that you potentially want to sell. It also nurtures a very warm audience. All this stuff psychologically is exceptionally important. Then you have on LinkedIn, which same thing. You are just having a top end funnel where you're getting people off the main app and onto something else. When you have a Twitter account, it can get shut down whenever. When you have an email list, you have that person's contact information forever. So it's much more powerful to have an email or just taking them off the initial platform, having multiple touch points. And then when they actually sign up for the email list, because this is an email that will be sent out as an email, but it's also going to be a tweet thread that basically also has a lead magnet at the end of it. So when someone reads that tweet thread or that LinkedIn post and they sign up for the webinar, we get their email. So what happens then? They're going to be sent a nurturing campaign, and you guys can do this in a few days. You can look at Ken's email or LinkedIn or something like that, and then let's actually sign up. Why don't you sign up for the webinar, and then you can see a multi-day email sequence that you are then going to be sent, which the entire goal of it is to nurture you to where you start to understand the process better and every other step of the way. So when I say I reverse engineer what people do well and try and replicate it, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I would see someone who would have an incredible tweet thread, I would put it into ChatGPT and I would train it to understand why they're saying what they're saying. Psychologically, I would try and figure it out. And then I would sign up for whatever lead magnet they have. And I would say, well, why do they want me to get me off the app? Then you get off the app, you sign up for their email list. And then every single day for 5 days, I'm sent an email from them to going over different aspects of their life, of the story, of their products, because now I'm a very warm audience if I read every single one of those. Of course, not everyone's going to, but you're playing the law of large numbers here, because when you can get 10,000 emails in a month because of all the volume and all the traction that you're getting, those are exceptionally powerful. So this is what I mean by copywriting. You can do a ton of different things. And then what is a good lead magnet? If you can have a copywriting for good lead magnets, that's another very valuable thing. You could just do the written work for every single person's thing. And maybe you will have 2 maids working at your house every single day like we are right now, which is epic. We just finished eating steak, rice, and eggs with some avocado. And I was talking about how my goal is to undo every single vegan in the world by eating enough steak to offset their dietary restraints.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to help get that goal, because having the maids definitely saves us some time. Because, I mean, when you have 2 limp tards like us trying to cook something up or even do our laundry,
we
takes
didn't
some bandwidth.
Yeah, and so instead, I'd rather make money and have someone else do it for you. I don't think she knows what the hell we're doing, but that's okay. Let's
Not a clue.